Bismarck's alliances and the ones to follow. We're going to start off by making a list of things that you guys should remember. Anglo is Britain, Russo is Russia, Franco is France, Entente means agreement in French, and Cordial means cordial, which means warm and friendly. We're going to start off by talking about Otto von Bismarck, who was Prime Minister of Prussia before becoming Chancellor of Germany. As Chancellor, he wanted to protect his nation and did so through a series of alliances that may have actually been the creation of World War I. No big deal. Or at least that's one of the theories of it. He also used these alliances in an attempt to isolate France from the rest of the world. He first created the Three Emperors League, or the Dreikaiserbund, which is most commonly referred to, and it was between Russia and Germany and Austria-Hungary. It stated if one country was invaded by a world power, the other two would step in and come to its aid. However, Russia and Austria-Hungary didn't get along, so Russia left, leaving Austria-Hungary and Germany by themselves. This created the dual alliance between Austria-Hungary and Germany, and it was started because they were worried Russia would target them because Russia had dropped out of the previous alliance, and they were worried if a war would start, they would be attacked by them. So if Russia were to attack either one of them, the other one would come in and aid it. Next up, we have the Triple Alliance between Germany, Austria-Hungary, with the addition of Italy. Italy had joined because it was mad at France for taking their land the year before, and they wanted to enhance their national security, and this alliance gave them ways to do both. 5 years later, Germany was still unsuccessful in isolating France and was still worried about Russia, so they created the Reinsurance Treaty with Russia, which basically gave them peace in between each other. This was supposed to be renewed whenever one wanted, or every 5 to 10 years. Then in 1888, Wilhelm II became Kaiser to Germany, and he kind of ran everything downhill. He started by vamping up his military and making more overseas conquering, which worried his enemies, which would be France, Britain, and Russia, and he refused to renew the Reinsurance Treaty, which would be devastating in future years to come. As you can see, these are the 3 countries that are going to be creating these alliances against them. The first alliance created against Germany was the Franco-Russian alliance. That was between France and Russia, and it was brought together by fear of Wilhelm II, and they were afraid of the Triple Alliance. And it was defensive, so if one was attacked by any country, not just Germany, although that is the example, the other would come to its aid, and this would stand so long as the Triple Alliance did. Then we have the Anglo-Japanese alliance between Britain and Japan. Both were trying to make a higher world power status, so they came together and made the alliance that would state that they would remain neutral in a war unless they were attacked by multiple countries. In that case, then they would come to each other's aid. Next up, we have the Entente Cordial between France and Britain, who were natural enemies, but because of their fear of Germany, they have been fixing their issues and were enjoying doing so, so they made another alliance to fix even more issues. It made Britain recognize Morocco as French territory, and France would recognize Sudan and Egypt as British territory. Next up, the Anglo-Russian Entente was between Russia and Britain, and it was a defensive one, so if one was attacked, then the other one would help. And it was made because Russia was scared of Germany because of Wilhelm II ending the Reinsurance Treaty, and the Triple Alliance was a major threat to Russian security, as well as some issue with the Balkans and Austria-Hungary and Germany and stuff like that. So if you look, you can see the Triple Entente was created between the Entente Cordial, the Anglo-Russian Entente, and the Franco-Russian Alliance. As you can see, the 3 countries that are involved sort of meshed together to create this Triple Entente. Anglo-Japanese alliance wasn't part of this because Japan was in only one alliance, not 2. So if they were in 2, maybe it would be a different story, but it just works better with these 3 countries. So France, Britain, and Russia were part of the Triple Entente, and in the Triple Alliance, we have Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. So if we look at the timeline here, we can start off by Otto von Bismarck becoming Chancellor in 1871. Then 2 years later, he created the Three Emperors League in 1873. Then this led to the failure in 1879, and that's when it failed. And then the same year, the Dual Alliance was created. Then Italy joined in 1882, creating the Triple Alliance. Then the Reinsurance Treaty was in 1887. Wilhelm II had refused to renew it in 1890. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So the worry of other countries created these alliances, and they do go in order by how I say them. Just keep that in mind. In 1894, we had the Franco-Russian alliance. Then in 1902, we had the Anglo-Japanese alliance. Then in 1904, the Entente Cordial. Then 1907, Anglo-Russian Entente. The same year was the Triple Entente, like I said, in 1907, and this of course was created by the three right here. So as you can see, the Anglo-Japanese alliance is down at the bottom. That did come before the Entente Cordiale and the Anglo-Russian Entente. Keep in mind, I just had to put it in a different area so that it wouldn't confuse you guys about which ones created the Triple Entente. Hope you guys enjoyed, maybe learned a little bit something new. Until next time, see you later.